This Sunday, the Arizona Cardinals are set to take on the New York Jets. And let me tell you right now, I am actually a little terrified because it seems like they're getting on the right track, and it is the wrong time for us because we have them this week. And weeks prior, it looked like they were disconnected. They didn't have Hassan Reddick like 3 weeks ago. Now he's back. He's causing pressure. There was a game where he was basically getting home on 1 every 4 snaps. 25% pass rate. That is ridiculous, and he is a former Cardinal, so it's going to be very interesting to see him. But the Jets are not a team we can take lightly despite their record. The Jets this year sit second in the AFC East. That is probably comfortably going to go to the Buffalo Bills, but the Jets are probably going to turn their season around. Let's just call it how it is. This is a team that has one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and he might be 40 years old, but he's still one of the greatest. He still has some arm talent. He still has the IQ. This isn't a bad football player. Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, still a top 12 quarterback, top 12 to 14. The season he's having is not fantastic, but again, he's going to get things going, and I am very confident in that. And top 12 to 14 might be a little disrespectful. This year, he has 7 interceptions, which typically he doesn't turn the ball over. That's just something Aaron Rodgers has not done his whole career. But as you guys see, he is 7th in yards with 2,100, and he has 15 touchdowns, which is tied for 7th. I feel like these interceptions are going to get cut down, and he's going to throw less than 13 on the year, and he's probably going to get close to 30 touchdowns, if not over that. So Aaron Rodgers, still a ridiculous quarterback. Do not take him lightly, and as soon as you start sleeping, that is when things go wrong. And ever since getting Davante Adams against Pittsburgh, you have seen a shift. The first game was not pretty. They got blown out 37-15, and they lost barely to the Patriots, a game they should not have lost, but as you guys see, Aaron Rodgers started to turn things around. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. We're kind of seeing that A-Rod style football that we always are used to. Then Houston, which is a really good football team, 21-13. 3 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers. So the past 2 games, he has 5 touchdowns and 0 picks, so we could be in trouble. And another reason I say that is because the weapons on the Jets offense are ridiculous. There are so many. You have this guy, Davante Adams, the guy that was basically the best player that Aaron Rodgers has ever played with on the offensive side of the football. Well, yeah, he's on the Jets now, and they are repaired. And ever since coming here, Davante Adams has never really solidified himself because Garrett Wilson is still that guy, so they had to figure out how to get Davante Adams involved. And as you guys see, those first 2 games were not pretty. 3 receptions on 9 targets is terrible. For 30 yards, that is an awful game. They just weren't connected. They had to figure things out once again. You had to get accustomed to each other. Then look at what happened in week 2 together. 4 receptions, 6 targets. That's a little more like it with 54 yards. He's coming down with passes. Way better performance. This is a game, again, I don't think they should have lost. Then you have the game against the Houston Texans, and this is why I'm worried, because we have them next up. As you guys see, 11 targets, 7 receptions, 91 yards, and he got in the end zone too. That is not great. They're back on the same page, and they're feeling comfortable. I don't like this. Even worse, because if we take a look at Garrett Wilson's season, he is a top 5 receiver in the league right now. I don't really care where you rank him. Justin Jefferson's 1, and then everything after that is honestly up to debate. But this year, Garrett Wilson, 1st in receptions with 60, 3rd in yards with 663, and 7th, he is tied with 5 touchdowns. Just absolutely ridiculous season here. And it's not like his production has fallen off or anything, because he's had crazy games and his targets have remained very similar ever since getting Davante Adams. 11, 6, 9, 8, 23 is ridiculous against Minnesota, but that was crazy. 10 against Buffalo. And then the 3 games right here where Davante Adams was here, he's had fantastic games. He's had 9 targets for 61 yards, 8 targets for 113, 10 targets for 90, and he scored 2 touchdowns against the freaking Texans. Garrett Wilson is a very special talent. The guy, like I said, is top 5. You can argue about it. It's Justin Jefferson 1, and after that, it is up for debate. And another weapon they have on offense is this guy, Breece Hall. He can do it in the receiving game. He can do it in the rushing game. There's not much this guy can do. And he's honestly kind of having a down year, only averaging 4 yards per carry, has scored 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving, but the yards, they are there. He's had hit or miss games all season long. Got shut out against Denver, as you guys see. There's been games where he hasn't been great, like the Patriots game, not fantastic. 49ers, not fantastic. Vikings, awful. Steelers, awful. But then he has bright spots too, where it's like the Patriots game, fantastic. The Titans game, fantastic. And then the Buffalo game, fantastic. The Texans game, fantastic. It's very hit or miss with Breece Hall this season, but the talent is there and he can kill you in both facets. And with Aaron Rodgers back there, it is kind of scary because this is probably the the most weapons he's ever had offensively. Like if Aaron Rodgers was 26, 27, or like 23, honestly, like Aaron Rodgers would be one of the best quarterbacks, because with his IQ and his talent back then, put him in this offense now with the weapons he has and the rules, ball game. Would never want to play him, but he's 40 years old, so we have that on our side. Something really cool that Aaron Rodgers did say about the Arizona Cardinals is that Budda Baker, he said there's a few secondary guys over the years where you're like, okay, I gotta know where that guy's at. Polamalu was like that. Ed Reed was like that. Budda Baker is one of those guys. As he said on the Pat McAfee show, this is the ultimate respect, and that is a crazy toad. Budda's just him, man. I mean, he flies around the field. The Arizona Cardinals, if our season got terrible, I mean, he might have been a trade candidate and not been our team, but luckily he is going to remain because we are winning games. That was huge for us. But when you see Budda on the field, like, the talent is there. He's one step ahead of everything. He recognizes things. He wraps up. He flies around the field. He's making crazy tackles and just crazy plays and blowing things up. Just an absolutely ridiculous football player, and I don't even think that's too crazy to say. Like, Aaron Rodgers is kind of spot on. Like, obviously, Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, two of the best safeties of all time, if not the two best. So it sounds a little crazy hearing Budda Baker in that conversation, but if you listen to what he said, it makes sense. Watch ball, you would understand that. But the Arizona Cardinals are going to have a pretty difficult time, if I had to say, especially in the pass game. But maybe not, because we just dissected the Chargers. We also dissected the Dolphins. Those are two defenses that are fantastic this season. We shredded them. But the Jets, I mean, they are kind of on another level. I thought they were going to be the best defense in the league, and it hasn't been that. Their pass defense is pretty dang fantastic. Opponents' pass percent. Teams only pass 50% of the time against them because their run defense is horrid, but we'll talk about that in a second. The opposing completion percent is second. Holding opposing quarterbacks to 56% is ridiculous. Opposing yards per pass is 6.4, fourth best in the league. Passes per game, 28, fourth best. Pass yards a game, 158.2. This defense is allowing 158 in the modern day NFL. That is ridiculous. They don't get a lot of turnovers though, as you guys see. They don't really pick the ball off. They just play great defense. Opposing interceptions thrown percent is 29th, and Kyler has done a fantastic job protecting the football, so I'm not really worried. And then the sack percent you guys see is second best in the league at 10%. One every 10 plays they get a sack. It's going to be pretty difficult to get things going in the pass game, but we have a chance and we have the weapons to do it. But where we might be able to kill them is in the run game once again. Cardinals rushing attack has been the bright spot of this team, and this is a big focal point. Like, the Cardinals have made it very known that we want to run the football, and we are going to do that. James Conner is feasting this year. We take a look at their defense. Opposing rush play percent is 28th in the league. Like, they want to run the ball against the Jets defense at 50% basically. And opposing yards per rush, 4.3. That's 8th best in the league. So they're not allowing a ton of yards, or at least per carry, because they allow a lot of rush yards a game, 132.6, and they allow 1.2 touchdowns a game, which ranks 24th. And still, 4.3 yards a carry, that is pretty dang good. There's assets the Cardinals can attack this Jets defense. I think they have a lot of high IQ players on offense and defense, but the Cardinals, if they can get that run game going once again, it's going to open a lot of things, and we're going to be able to put up a lot of points. The Cardinals' red zone offense has been fantastic all year long. If we get into the red zone, we're basically scoring points. Like, that's just how it works. We're scoring touchdowns at an all-time rate. We might be the best red zone team in the NFL. I'm not even exaggerating when I'm saying that. Like, genuinely, I think we are. If we've missed any conversions, which I'm not sure, I think every time we've been in the red zone, we've scored a touchdown. You guys can fact check me. If we haven't, then it's pretty dang close to, because there have been chances we've been very close and had to kick game-winning field goals because it made no sense to, like, continue the drive, if you know what I'm saying. So, like, I'm not sure the stat on that, but we are one of the best. I know that for sure. Kyler Murray and James Conner on the ground can attack them crazily. The O-line has not allowed a sack in 3 games. That is huge. Trey McBride is having an all-time season for him. And Marvin Harrison Jr. has been pretty hit or miss all year long. But again, I don't know if we're going to dissect them in the pass, but the run is where it's very crucial. If you can establish that, the boot is going to be open and Kyler Murray is going to be able to pick them apart. And I am very confident that Kyler Murray is going to be a crucial part of why we win this game. And yes, I think we're going to win, and I really do believe it is going to be because of Kyler Murray. James Conner might have a bit of a quiet day today, but I think Kyler on the ground is going to total 60+ yards. That is a very bold prediction, but I'm rocking with it, and I think Kyler even gets into the end zone on the ground as well. I think he does pass for a touchdown too. Like, Kyler, I think, is going to play a phenomenal game, and I also don't think he's gonna really like have any downfalls, and I think he's gonna pass for 225 plus passing yards as well. Like, Kyler, have a day. Like, I'm ready for it. If we can pull this win off, the Cardinals would advance to a record of 6-4. Do you know how fantastic that would be? Taking out the Jets basically and ending their season, or basically coming close to it. The Jets would have to go perfect from then on out, and it's very possible because they have the talent to do so, but it's going to be very hard for them to. But I do like the Cardinals in this matchup. This is a game that could go either way. You got to give respect to the Jets because, again, their season could be getting on track right now, and we might be in the way of that, and we might take a massive hit and a nasty shot. I'm going to rock the Cardinals in this one, man. 21 to we're gonna go 21-17. Actually, I'm gonna flip that. We're going Cardinals 27-20. I like that score a little bit better. You guys let me know down in the comment section below, though, how you guys are feeling about my prediction. Do you like it? Do you hate it? If you're a Jets fan, let me know. And if you're a Cardinals fan, let me know. If you're an NFL unbiased, I want to know as well. I want to know everybody's predictions. I want to know everything. Let it be known. Drop those comments. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video, man. If you guys did enjoy, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.